All right, so I guess we're ready to go, yeah? So, hi. This is my favorite speed game, favorite speed category ever, pretty much. And I actually haven't done a marathon run of it for almost 2 years, so I'm really excited. And I have two absolute titans with me in the commentary booth who I have never had commentate with me at the same time before. So, first off, I got Shimcat. Please say hello.
Yo, what's up? I'm Shem. I'm one of the silly little guys who speedruns the silly little game.
I've also got Zelda Cubed.
Yeah, hi. I've played this game before.
You have, in fact. Um, as I expected, they're both kind of modest. Shem has been a good rival of mine over the years, and Zelda Cubed kind of came in to take the any percent record. Then he had fun learning this category and currently holds it with a commanding time of 36:52. But he also found the route that we're going to be using today. I've historically always done marathon runs of this in chronological order, starting from episode 1 and going forward. But we kind of have a definitively fast route now, and this is the first time in a marathon that that will be shown off. Even earlier in the year, Shemcat did a run at ESA. He didn't have this route yet, so let's get it started. Things are going to happen kind of quickly here. Um, we won't go in depth about what happens, but just know that silly things are about to happen. So I'll count down from about three, I guess. I can try and time it that way. Um, I started from a new game file and just did a little bit of pre-run setup, which is allowed for free play. So let's see just why I did that. And the run will start in three, two, one, go.
All right, so
So Shem,
the first thing you'll be seeing, you can just clip through the archway there. They don't have collision, and then you can just fly because the game never checks to see. Or the game always thinks you can do a double jump after using your, oh yeah, another double jump after using your blaster shot, and then the room's just loaded in. In like, so that was the final room trigger right
yeah,
there,
bam,
and you
I
can,
I did it.
yeah, and it's
Was
just
that
loaded in the
too
first room.
too quick for you?
A little bit, yeah. I was kind of hoping you'd fail there. The strat's a little bit.
Yeah, they got it like first try. That's not easy at all.
That it's kind of ridiculous because the detonators that you throw at the bounty hunter, they land at a random angle. So I was not expecting to do that, but I'm kind of glad that I didn't have to do that 50 times to start off this run. And now you are seeing me use Yoda. So Yoda is not actually guaranteed to be in your party, but I set up my file to manipulate it so that he is. And Zcube, this is going to be a good time to talk about the route if I can actually get up off the ground here.
Yeah, sure. So basically, in the past, people would start a run either having all characters unlocked or a certain amount of characters unlocked. Um, as you clear levels in the game, you unlock more characters. Though through the debug menu, you can actually unlock
Sorry,
all
Java.
levels without unlocking any characters. So that creates this route idea where when you're on the free play screen, you usually only get the option to select one character and the rest are random. And that's a shame because there are two characters that are very useful for this run. Uh, so the idea behind the manipulation is to set up your file such that you don't have enough characters unlocked. So when you pick one character, you always get the other. In this case, Lasertrap's picking custom character, and they're guaranteed to get Yoda in their party on the first level, and it's very likely to get Yoda in their party on the next few levels. The reason this is why we start with episode 4, because in levels that are fast with Yoda, episode 4 has the levels that save the most time if you have custom character in your party as well.
So you can see that Yoda really does just go zoom, to put it lightly. And the custom character that we create can jump infinitely. And the infinite jump is actually the easiest trick you can do in this game. It's not hard to do, but some of the skips that I'll be doing with it won't be easy. We'll talk about that later. And I got Yoda in this third level as well. It's pretty likely. Again, that's the reason why we do this episode so early, because it makes it much more likely to get Yoda where we would want him, and might not usually get him in previous routes. That's a frame-perfect clip through the ceiling, and hopefully, yep, get into the loading zone. And yeah, so I'm jumping after every third attack with Yoda. That's kind of important. You also saw me just like casually clipping through doors. That's the thing this run has. I did not expect to hit that loading zone so quickly either. This is kind of good so far. I missed that one early, but that's okay. I also bought a specific bounty hunter before the run, which is Forlom, and Forlom can use the droid panels as he wishes. Here's just another reason why it's so good to have both the custom character and Yoda, because you can make that jump without having to go all the way around. Let's see. The next level we are going to... It's going to be a bit of a standard one. I say standard if you know this game. Zoom. Door clips, and we didn't really explain that. Thanks, Ben, for pushing me off the build pile. We didn't really explain the door clips as they were happening during the Sandcrawler. So this is going to be a good time for someone who has a YouTube video with over 100,000 views to explain how exactly Yoda goes through doors.
Yes, I love talking about how broken Ghost Yoda is, and apparently a couple people like to listen to that as well. So yeah. So you've seen the door clips been used quite a bit throughout, so in the first couple levels. And the way these work, so his attacks come in sets of 3, as you can see. And to do it, you want to have the second hit be at a 45-degree angle to the door, and then within 10 frames of initiating the third attack, face towards the door again. And that will give Yoda enough like speed to push him through and just get a really clean clip through.
Gone pretty well. This one is a little bit unique because I don't actually have to press anything on the D-pad for that one. That's just a funky door with funky collision. We appreciate when doors just let things happen.
Yeah, there's a very, very small gap in between the two doors, I believe, so that just lets you barely squeeze Yoda through.
That door is so funky that we can even shoot the second player through in story mode, and it just lets us hit the loading zone. And through this force field, oh, I missed a pretty standard clip, but that's okay. I ended the level anyway. So, you know, as far as marathon runs go, I'm pretty happy with that episode 4. I don't actually have to play every level because this is a free play run, and the ship levels do not have a free play mode. I am going to be quiet for this. I got Yoda RNG again. That's very nice. I'm going to be a bit quiet for this to just focus on getting the jump route. As I said, jumping is easy. The routes are not. I have a bit of a specific route in mind here. I'm just going to focus up on this bit. Feel free to talk if you would like to.
Yeah, so this is sort of similar to what we saw in the first level, where the later room is loaded within like the first room, and so Laser Trap is able to to use that to jump way out of the bounds of the area and just reach one of these these much later rooms and skip basically the entire level. Unfortunately, with this level in particular, you can find yourself dropping inputs quite a lot. So we went from the like brownish area to the sky scene. So on that transition, it's very easy to drop your input and then just come crashing straight down since you're not keeping up the jumping and shooting rhythm. Looks like they got it there. And then from there, you need to actually locate the loading trigger. And that's good. That's good. Very nice. Very nice.
That was kind of scary, but... So I skipped from the beginning of Jabba's palace to the end of the sail barge, pretty much. In the story, Jabba was alive, and now he's just not, I guess. And I missed the last jump. That trick is called Hanless because we used to have a jump that skipped saving Han in the palace that was called Hanless, but then we found a much nicer one that saves even more time. So it's called Hanless. And this is probably the worst level to not do first, but it kind of works out that way with the route. What do I even say? Oh, yep. Okay, so I have to do a lot of management with both of the characters. There's always an AI partner following me around, but I can swap to their position if I want to. And I kind of use both Yodas to not attempt to not get caught in the Sith lightning phase. And here I'm gonna go for a really risky trick that should absolutely never be done in a marathon, which is why I'm doing it right now.
Ooh.
ZQ, please
Let's
take it
go.
away.
Yeah, so this trick is called fanless. So you saw when they got targeted by the Emperor earlier, they got Force Lightning, which requires you to swap to another
Oops.
character. Um,
I didn't even get to start it.
uh,
So now I'm gonna be stuck for a little while, but go ahead, keep explaining.
yeah, so it's possible to get into an attack pattern where you're able to get all of the hits you need on this phase without having the second partner. But if you fail it, like you saw there, you get stuck with the lightning and you have to go down here and build the fan.
Yeah, and it's called fanless. There are some other names that we do call it. I will avoid saying them on stream for now. I don't think it would be that. Uh... Oh, you're there. All right, this is really going well.
Yeah, this level sucks. It's really bad.
That we can say safely. I did over 1,000 attempts putting this level first. I gotta say I miss doing this level first, but I did eventually get to do the zero cycle there, which is what you would need to do in order to complete the fanless trick. But you know, on top of that trick being very silly, um, P2 is extremely silly in this level in particular. The AI partner in LEGO games doesn't have the best reputation of being smart. This level is, when you're speedrunning, one of the worst. Okay, you followed me. Good lad. That's where I wanted him to be.
Yeah, that was a really
It
good
doesn't
fall, actually.
Yeah, it doesn't usually help that I speed ahead by attacking. Oh, please get on the elevator. All right. All right. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Classic.
this is a good level.
Just after we were praising him.
That's happened so much today in practice. And the funny thing is, I swear he was never that bad when I was doing this level first. I don't know what I'm doing differently.
One thing to note about the AI partner in this level also is that there is an alternate version of fanless where if you get a frame perfect, like if you enter like the trigger for the Emperor jumping on the same frame that he switches from like the different patterns in the lightning on the tiles, you can get the lightning to stay on some of the tiles and it automatically damages him. And because it's a little bit faster, the AI partner is actually in a significantly better position for the movement over to the other side. So
Yeah, that
on
actually
top,
only works though if you do the fanless jump first of all, which isn't easy to
yeah,
make.
yeah.
It's a bit of a trick jump. Not that I like talking about trick jumping. It's a bit of a trick jump though.
Also, this level is really cool.
This is probably
So
my favorite. It's got a cool trick here if you want to explain it.
yeah, so they're going to swap to a droid, and they're going to use the self-destruct extra on the same frame
Did I not get
that
it?
that they switch their character, and basically that allows them to fall through this platform and skip a pretty significant part of the level.
I don't know why that didn't actually skip through the death barrier at first, but yeah, it stores kind of the death iframes. You can't skip through the death barrier with regular iframes, but if you store dead iframes, I guess, on the same frame, I don't even know.
Just
I would
mage
like to
car
give a
magic.
I would like to give a huge shout out to Lord Magecar who finds all of these things. He doesn't speedrun this game, he glitch hunts. Glitch hunters are a hugely um, underrepresented part of the speedrun community, I feel, and they deserve a lot more love than they get. So thank you so much, Magecar, for your work in this game.
Dude, big up mage car.
Yeah, this run would be nothing like it is right now without Magecar.
Magecar found a consistent way for door clips in the first place, and you know, this run was already pretty cool with Yoda stuff, but Magecar helped it actually flow well.
So right here, you're going to see the only other example of a detonator clip. We used to do 3, but because of this route, we now do 2. and
What's the
it's
other one? Oh, in the first level, yeah.
yeah, and it's not as bad as the detonator clip to clip out of bounds in my opinion, but it's still heavily RNG based. Wow.
Yo,
Oh my
such
god.
good tat luck this run. Straight
That
through the door.
God gamer right
Oh,
here.
you know
Oh my
what?
god.
I'm not gonna PB, so why don't we show off something really funny here? I want to try and show off this silly trick. Does it
This
not
is
work with foot? I'm
one
gonna
or two
switch to a
frames.
different character,
I think?
maybe. It's
Yeah.
frame perfect with like a frame roll in there. There we
Oh.
go. All right, so what on earth was that, you may wonder? Let's go through the door. That's what that did. That is a trick that we use in any percent runs in order to skip the long Vader fight section entirely. It saves like 3 or 4 minutes in a story mode run. And here I'm just going to casually jump and eventually fall into the end zone of the level.
Yeah, the way that trick works is by shooting on like one of the last frames before you hit the ground. It basically clips you in ever so slightly into the floor, which loads another room, which means that the room you are in at the moment, after doing a character swap, isn't like properly loaded in, and like all the collision doesn't want to be there, including the door that you need to get through, so you can just run through the door. I think that's how it works, at
Yeah,
least. Something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. If you improperly load another room, which you have seen with infinite jumps, but this kind of tech doesn't appear with those. But if you improperly load a room and you character swap while in that other room and then return to the original room, it's got some like unloaded states. Like the door was completely deloaded collision-wise. Oh, I wanted to make that over without a character, make it over that without a character swap, but I'll play it safe this time.
Yeah, you can get very, very far with Yoda. So when he does his basic attacks, he's basically just considered to still be grounded, so he can still do his single jump and double jump out of his attacks, even if he is very clearly in the air and should not be doing a single jump. So yeah, we're able to use that combined with one or two of our Yoda attacks to get really far across various gaps. We can also use that to help our vertical height gain as well, just a little bit. But yeah, mostly it's for these like triple jumps and quad jumps are mostly for crossing big horizontal distances like this.
Yeah, he's a little bit cheeky as Yoda. He thinks he can jump more than the average person, and he's right, you know. So I won't assume that everyone knows everything about Lego Star Wars either. So just to explain a little bit, double jumps are an intended mechanic of the game that is most commonly seen for every Jedi or Sith. Um, that means you can jump once from the ground and then jump in the air again. But you can use the height from Yoda's attacks and jump out of that twice as well. And this is the new and probably not improved heater skip, so let's see how this goes. Not well so far. Yeah, all right.
So what they're trying to do here is it's kind of similar to the droid self. Oh, it's kind of similar to the droid self-destruct trick where you need to do a Jedi slam. So when you jump, very nice job. When you jump in the air and you press lightsaber, you do a different type of attack called the Jedi slam. And if you swap your character on the same frame that you perform that slam, you get a little bit of like height stored. So when you swap back to that character, your character actually pops up a little bit. And you can use that to clip out of bounds and get over the wall.
All right, so that was ice clip. It's actually not a standard door clip because there's a barrier of ice in the way of the door. It's been giving me trouble today, which it doesn't always do, but at least I was able to show it off in the end. This is a really, really rough level with all of the stuff that it has now.
If it wasn't the hardest level, like, or Yoda movement level before, like it definitely is now.
Yeah, especially with the added heater skip in the first room, which skips using a heater to melt that particular ice barrier. So what we're basically saying is this level actually has no more barriers that you cannot bypass, which is pretty cool. That was a nice door clip, at least.
Yeah, that door clip is at a really strange angle, and it makes it a lot harder to perform.
There are things that make door clips harder, and that is, and like having less space to clip with. Because Shem mentioned earlier that you actually have a whole 10 frames to do it if you get the right inputs. If you don't have as much space, you're going to have a smaller frame window to do that final input. Oh, I picked Yoda. This is not really a good Yoda level, so I'm actually going to exit out and pick a custom character. This is a unique custom character level because there's not a crazy skip. It's all really done in one room. And I actually really enjoy this kind of change of pace in the middle of the run here.
Yeah, it's just a very vertical level. So rather than having to use Yoda's speed, we can just, you know, jump up and then just shoot, which has the same impact as like doing all fancy Yoda movement to climb up there and do like a lightsaber slash. So yeah, just jumping and shooting in the air does all we need to do, really.
You might also notice my method of damaging General Grievous here. So I didn't actually have to fight any bosses in the original trilogy, did I? I didn't think about that. So lightsaber bosses in this game are actually really, really tricky. Especially compared with the more commonly known PC and console version of this game. You can't just cheese them, except if you're in free play and you have a bounty hunter, which it should always give you one if you have any of them unlocked. You can just throw their detonators at the bosses over and over, and that'll do the damage you need. And a little bit about free play. You are allowed to play on any file you want, which is why the pre-run setup is allowed to have this character manipulation route. And you can also turn on any extras, and extras are sort of bonus things that you have to buy in the game. But since we're playing on any file, and this game actually has a really handy debug menu that keeps the game relatively normal, we can just turn on all extras from the debug menu, and that's allowed.
So
One of the
shoutouts
extras is invincibility.
yeah, shoutouts
go
to this level as well.
Oops.
We're just casually glossing over the fact that they are just
Oh yeah,
yodering all over
Yeah.
nothing.
That's a thing.
Yeah, Kashyyyk is definitely one of my favorite levels, partially because of these invisible bridges. The collision for the bridges is there even before you've like knocked them down, and so we're able to just go around the side as Yoda and just walk over them. Easy as that. I say easy as that like the like it doesn't troll half the time with the little fences, but yeah. And then this invisible.
Yeah, the fences are annoying. And
Then
nice jump.
yeah, so there's if you go too high there's an invisible wall stopping you, but obviously if you go too low, you're not going to get enough height. So they need to get a good mix of height and not going too high in order to get over that barrier there and save all the time from that.
That is a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, you have to do 2 mid-air attacks while not losing too much height, but also not keeping too much height, because there is an invisible wall partway up that you have to get under. They just didn't account for Yoda being Yoda, which is funny because you have Yoda in story mode for this level, so you can always do that skip.
Yeah, this level looks basically the same if you're playing in story mode, so it's by far the best level in story mode.
Yeah.
And then in this category, it's pretty damn good as well.
Force Ghost Yoda definitely does help with that last room.
Yo,
If you're
let's go, I got
regular
Yoda.
If you're regular Yoda, you get targeted by the enemies, and if you get shot like by one of the blasters in the middle of using the Force, it cancels the Force. So it can make that room pretty painful if you don't have Force Ghost Yoda.
I should probably switch to custom character earlier than that. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah, well-
gonna make my jump up.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Ghost Yoda is so broken in LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga on the DS. And also,
This is my least favorite jump.
yeah, this is pretty cringe because very soon you'll see nothing except the blaster's shot. So you need to navigate basically blind, and that transition there can also drop your input, and then getting into the actual loading zone is very precise.
Oh, that's the first time I've missed the loading zone in a while, actually.
Yeah, that loading zone is really small, and you're really high up, so you have to basically judge where custom character is going to land and
Where
help you
the
correct.
heck did I just go?
Also, there's an improper load which can drop your input, so
Phew.
this GIF has everything.
It really does. At least it's done now, right?
Yeah, I take second try in a run like this for sure. Like that's nothing to scoff at.
And now we have the level of top 10 anime betrayals. That's been my split name for some 5 years, I think. Because we all know what happens on the planet of Mustafar.
Yeah, let's see if it betrays you here. I should hope not. This should be
I,
pretty smooth
I haven't been
sailing.
going for this during the run, but I'm going to try some new movement tech here. This movement tech is really cool, but so far I have only found it to mess me up, so let's... Oh yeah, alright. What I'm trying to do is use the force in the middle of my attack pattern to not have to jump. So ideally I would get a 38 on the countdown timer there, but I got a 37. It's still better than a 36, but you should kind of just be getting 38.
Yeah, the
It's
reason we
because I went
jump,
for the new movement.
the reason we jump after every attack or every sequence of attacks is just to cancel the like stun animation after you've done it and just conserve our momentum a little bit. And so by forcing it, it's just a little bit less time spent not doing our attacks. So in theory, it's faster in these places, but in practice, maybe not just yet.
Maybe not just yet is right. However, there is a really cool task being made. Shoutouts to MageCar once again, and the all-time tassing legend for our LEGO DS games, that is Nuxmaster, who was actually my original competition. Shoutouts to you. And this was the original level that had a big infinite jump skip. It's a little bit different now. We used to call it It's Raining Men because this is a rainy level. Now it's called Cry Me a River because this is a jump that makes you cry, and the runner who found it is named River. Also, we like our song references.
Oh, skipping the drop input there.
Nice.
Nice, nice.
Now I just have to land it.
Yeah, it's
This
just
should be
landing
good.
this one isn't too hard. It's mostly
Yeah,
just the drop
there-
input you need to avoid.
That one has a pretty big loading zone to drop into. But now I have to do a second jump. So I want to clip through the ceiling and keep my jump.
Yeah, you might be
And
thinking,
hopefully-
streamer, why don't you just go through normally? This is the next room. Well, by going through this way, the room isn't loaded properly, and that means the floor isn't there, and that means Django Fett just falls through the floor, and rather than fight him, he just dies because he voided out. So
Yep.
yeah.
To
So
be
that time's
fair,
eight.
I also died.
It's actually really convenient that Django is a blaster boss because when lightsaber bosses die, I'm pretty sure it doesn't immediately end the level. But in the case of blaster bosses, when they die, it does. So it's really convenient that Django's a blaster boss.
I actually got some semi-decent force cancels down that first hallway in this level too.
Yeah, that was pretty clean, I can't lie.
Yeah.
This is kind of a trolley level. Let's see. There's a new reason for it to troll you as well, and that is a new one. I will admit, not being allowed to stand on those fans on the wall.
Yeah, that was interesting.
But this room in particular is little Timmy from Super Mario Maker 1, specifically 1, I would say. Alright,
Did
the
he?
AI partner did not switch to Yoda at least, but now I have to rely on him getting here quickly. That was pretty decent. I have to
can't-
hand it to player 2. He's been alright today.
I can't see the bottom screen. Did you get a second Jedi or no?
I did not.
Oh, unfortunate.
So that means I probably am not going to go for the skip at the end of the level. Unfortunately.
Yeah, in this level, you can use a slam storage similar to the one in 5.2 to
That's
skip
echo
this.
base, just if you're unaware.
Yeah. What we call teeter skip. You can do a slam storage similar to that one to clip through the ceiling up here above that door. But this one is a lot harder to do, in my opinion, especially if you only have one character.
Ah, it was too early going for that clip. But
Is
now I
this
just
a
have
good-
to free Obi-Wan.
Is this
Oh,
a good
sorry.
time for a brief announcement?
Yes, actually, we are going to Jedi Battle, which is a really lovely level. So you have good timing, my friend.
Well, just wanted to say we do have a couple new donation incentives open for running a few hours for Fire Emblem Three Houses. We have a bid war to choose the gender of the main character between male and female, and as well you can name the character or the main character for Fire Emblem 8 character max. So if you're interested in either of those, please get your donations in soon-ish. Don't forget, before that, we also have the incentive for Titanfall to voice act the cutscene. So yeah, we're still looking for $150 to hopefully see that within the next couple runs.
Alrighty.
Yeah, make sure to get your donations in, chat. Fire Emblem Three Houses, bang a game. So, yeah. Make sure you do that.
Tim, you're a bit of an RPG speedrunner too, so of course you'll be sticking up for Fire Emblem.
Oh yeah, and Aeon Frodo on it.
That's true.
Very, very cool runner as well.
So I will explain a little bit about what's going on. This level is 1 room long, and it is also by far the longest level in the run. And that might tell you right off the bat that it's kind of not that interesting. It's kind of just go from point A to point B to point C to point 75 and a half, that kind of level, and kill enemies. It's a big enemy gauntlet. On this next phase, we will get a chance to see something kind of funky that does not actually affect the run in any way, but it's lovingly known as the Matrix glitch. I'm supposed to kill all the Droidekas, right? But that one is seemingly left alive, and it's actually not even going to hurt me from now on. And this is another moment where I don't know where player 2 is, and I would like them to show up soon for the next phase, because they're actually really useful to pull the other switch there. And that battle droid is running away. Thanks, friend. There you are, Vader. I do have to hit you with that bomb, I'm afraid. You were kind of in the way. But now I'll give you a job to do. There you go.
Yeah, we've been seeing lots of animation cancels upon grabbing levers. So yeah, that just skips the animation naturally by character swapping. But if you do that, the AI partner doesn't want to go to the other lever, which is sometimes less convenient in this level. So we want to try and just pick and choose when it's better to animation cancels, but when it's better to just not character swap and let Vader do that for us.
Just for the end of this, I have to shoot down the 8 Geonosians there. Or I choose to switch to a gun character just so I can, shoot them from range. And I do find that helps me take them out quicker. And I think that's a thing that runners agree on in both story and free play. Well, especially story, actually, because with lightsaber characters in story, you have to get really close to them, and it's just a slow attack.
This level is actually a really good demonstration. That's kind of unfortunate about the new route. Before, if you had Django unlocked, it was possible to get him, and because he has 2 smaller blasters, it makes it a lot easier to try and kill enemies quickly. Unfortunately, we do not have that anymore, so Jedi Battle is just a little bit worse.
See, that's interesting, because I would always just swap back to my slot 8 grappler character
Oh, I see.
for that, so I wouldn't ever take advantage of that. But it's
Yeah,
interesting to
no,
think about.
it's really helpful. It's really helpful, but it never will be again.
All right, here's another boss. Oh, I was too quick on that one, I guess. We want to kind of just stun lock Dooku. He goes through a couple different phases where we can and can't see his hearts. I kind of got a little bit distracted there, that's my bad. Alright, this is not a good demonstration of how to do this quickly, but trust me, this is really like a simple boss fight, one of the easiest levels to do free play. It's not the easiest by any means, but kind of a really nice starter level. Although I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing it as like your first practice level because you just end by throwing detonators at a boss and over a certain rhythm over and over. And
Or
it
you
is
can
pretty
be cool
important to get
and-
your position right.
Or you can be cool and use Dooku locks on him in free play. Save like 1 frame occasionally.
It's true. And to end off the run in style, we are going to the beginning of time with negotiations, level 1-1. Pretty simple level. I actually don't have too much to say about the beginning. I'm choosing not to go for force cancels again. I guess these doors can be kind of funky, and the next one will be too.
Yeah, this level is a really good starting point for marathons usually, just because
Right.
it's an introduction to Yoda clips and to Yoda movement. But with these silly new routes, I guess. Yeah. Now it's
Yeah,
relegated
I just wanted
to
to
the
show this off. I don't know if this will be like definitively what I do for marathons from now on, but I
yeah
wanted to
yeah.
give it a marathon showing and just do the fastest I can do while also not resetting. So there have been a ton of mistakes, but like this is one of those speedruns where it's kind of really hard to not notice the mistakes as you're playing. Like you drop any single Yoda attack and you feel it's suddenly a little bit slower than before, and it's like, oh, I want to keep going. All right, so one important thing for this level, on the old route when I had all characters unlocked, I could consistently get a grapple character in the slot 8, the final slot. And that was really useful for me because it meant that I could just use the L and R bumpers to switch characters really easily between 8 and 1. But now I have to use the touchscreen so that I don't, cycle through too many. Whenever I swap characters, there is a little bit of lag, so I don't want to swap twice if I can avoid that. But otherwise, this is what I actually would consider the easiest level in the run. Especially because you don't have to do this clip, but Zelda Cubed has convinced me that I do have to do this clip. And that is why I don't usually. It is actually quite simple, but I'm still learning that one on the fly, basically. Other than that, this is going to be another good chance for our host to just briefly take over before the end of the run.
Roger, roger.
If they would like to say anything. Nice easy clip there. That one's not too tricky at all. There is one clip in this level that you should do as a beginner, but it is the most basic clip that you can do because you've got plenty of space, and it's a very simple, just going straight up clip.
I'm gonna be honest, I missed that entirely because I've just been sitting here entranced by the run the whole time.
I am glad to hear that anyway. If you'd like to share something, go ahead anyway.
Oh, I just want to say, we do have a $25 donation here from Jason. I mentioned it was cold earlier. We're getting into fall. If you're cold, a hot idea is to make yourself a hot Dr. Pepper. I don't know how I feel about that one, but that's a thought. But thank you very much for the donation. We appreciate that.
If you boil a fizzy drink, does it get rid of the fizz? Because I can't drink fizzy drinks.
I don't think I'll ever be finding that one out. I can't lie.
Yeah, I've learned over the years, never ask a question you don't want answered. I think that's one of them.
Yeah, that is one mystery I will not be uncovering anytime soon, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it.
Oh, this
Okay,
might be the hardest
so
art clip in the run.
yeah, in contrast to the last level, oh, I'm not getting my setup at all here. So this is at a funky angle, and I've got like no space to work with, and I'm trying to take it too quickly, so I'm gonna watch up for a second. There we go.
Nice. Yeah, this level's kind of interesting because there's three main Yoda clips you do. The first one is just straightforward, at a just a straightforward. You've got a lot of space for it. Second one is at a bit of a weird angle, but you've got a lot of space for it. And then there's just that clip from
There is
hell.
indeed just that.
Yeah.
All my homies hate that clip.
Whoops. Wasn't ready for that. I'm gonna take a throw a bomb at that battle droid to take him out. The end room here is pretty cool. I find it harder to flow it together when I again don't have my grapple character on slot 8. But it's another like kind of unique room where you kind of just show off Yoda movement in a slightly different way to go up and down a lot of times. And take out the battle droids and free the royal guards and get out of here. Pretty much.
Yeah, this is one of those things you absolutely need to do. You need to free those 6 guards because even though it's to open this door, that isn't what. Oh, yeah, you can still clip through it. It's not like actually going through the ends level. It's just having it be fully open. So clipping through doesn't really do anything.
They really tried hard to stop you from getting through that door also, but you can clip through it with the bomb method. And now this is actually going to be the last level of the run, so I hope you have enjoyed. And let's talk a little bit about this mall. Oh, that was way too early. What was I doing?
That was really good.
Yeah, I like to get it. Oop, I like to get it so that I can kind of take out the battle droids with one bomb each. So there is meant to be a pit there, but the bombs can actually bounce up from the fake pit, I guess, and damage Maul. You have to end that fight on a normal hit, though, by forcing the canister back at him, because if you gain too many hearts, or if you damage him 3 times the other way and then do that, the game will then crash.
Yeah, it doesn't actually show on his on like the hearts on screen, but it is damaging him.
Why
Just like
did I
showing.
go for a triple jump there?
Oh
I
my
just
god,
made
that
that with a
worked!
triple
Wow.
jump by
Oh my
accident.
god!
Wow. That
You're
is
meant to
wild.
do 2 attacks and then a double jump.
Yeah, a little thing about character swaps, you can get like a very small amount of extra height and distance if you do one like after a jump, and I guess we're seeing like the full extent of that.
That was not my intent to show that off, because I have never done that, ever.
Yeah, doing that with a triple jump is harder and slower, which is the best kind of strat.
Yeah. Oh, and time will be in less than 30 seconds, I think. Just have to finish the mall fight here. I don't think I got my first marathon sub 40. There have been a few more mistakes than usual, but I am pretty content with how this run went. It showed off the category pretty beautifully. And time.
Woo, GG's.
GG.
GG, well done.
All right. Am I right? Do we know that I'm right in that not being sub 40? I'm interested to know how that did. If anyone
Like
has
your
time.
final time was 41:30.
That is solid for a marathon. That is solid, I will say that. This is a really, really tough category. It is my favorite one, but it's also the hardest one I have like gone through the mastering process. And now I have to kind of master it all over again because of moments. This is one of those games though that you can kind of just keep chasing the time down if you find new discoveries or not, because you can always kind of tighten up your, especially your Yoda movement. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you being here and donating to a pressingly or an increasingly needed cause. You are all wonderful. Shout outs to the people commentating, Shemcat, Zelda Cube. Shout outs to other runners and glitch hunters, of course, Magecar and Noxmaster again. Flaming Laser is really strong any percent runner of this game. And have a great rest of the marathon. I will be back as a host if you liked my voice on Saturday, but that's it for me now.
Before
Thank you
we
for
head
watching.
out, where can we find all of you?
I am on twitch.tv/lasertrap_, and I am on YouTube, not usually uploading speedruns, but I have a lot of uh, video game soundtrack covers going through an Ace Attorney series at the moment, and I have a lot of other piano covers. That's at Lasertrap Productions. And Shem and Z-Cubed.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Shemcat, YouTube as well. If you want to join the other people who like hearing about Ghost Yoda, you can find me on YouTube, same name, Shemcat. And yeah, that's basically all of my important socials.
Yeah, just follow Laser Trap and Shem instead of me. They deserve it more.
Twitch.tv/ZeldaCubed1.
Don't
He
tell
is
them.
he is Zelda Cubed 1. You have to have the 1 in there. And he runs Super Mario 3D Land, and he is chasing his first world record in Mario Kart Wii. Forever in second place, though.
Yeah, man.
He also has crazy world records in this game, so that's cool.
All right. Thank you very much, Laser Trap. That was an excellent run. We will be cutting to intermission, but coming up next, we do have Osborne with Viewfinders. So please stick around for another wonderful run. Just enjoy the music for the next couple of minutes.